You may have noticed out in your yard or the roads or in the woods, these little guys that like to make a mess or sound like bombs dropping in the woods while you're out hunting. Hopefully you haven't been hit in the head by one. But these are black walnuts, and we're using these to make stain for dyeing our skulls. And as you can see, I've had this boiling maybe a half an hour now, and I've gone ahead and unplugged it because that's about as dark as I want this batch. The last batch that I made was pretty dark, and I want this more of a golden color. I'm still in the experimental stage myself, and since it's black walnut season and they're raining from the trees right now, now would be a good time for you to go out and harvest them. And if you don't have trees in your yard or in a neighbor's yard, I'm sure if you're out in the woods hunting this season, there's trees out in the woods. You've probably heard them thumping on the ground. Stuff some in your backpack. Like I said, you only need about a dozen or so and a couple gallons of water, and you can make your own stain to stain your own skulls. And we're going to be going over the process in this video. Please remember to subscribe to our page at KC Taxidermy, and here we go. To start the process, we're going to collect black walnuts, and it's always good to enlist good help. So we're taking a wagon in case little legs get tired and we need a ride back, and we've got our buckets for collecting. So here we go with my help at KC Taxidermy. We're stopping and saying hello to the chickens on our way down to the back of the property to pick black walnuts. And here, as you can see, is one of our trees closest to us. Way to sniff them out, Lilo. And we have a bunch right here, so there's no need for us to go any further. We're gonna start collecting. In our buckets, you only need about a dozen to start with one batch. If you just want to make a small batch, about a gallon or so of stain. So I'm gonna start collecting up some black walnuts, and we'll get started. Now all you really need is the nut itself, so you don't need the husk. So you just pop that open and throw the nut in your bucket. And I'm gonna collect as many of these as I can, and we're gonna put them in a pot. Can you put them in the bucket? Put them in there. Good job. All right, we're back here at the barn, and as you can see, I've got about 13 black walnuts here, and the best, and I've still got my little helper. And the best tip that I've seen on the videos that I've watched is to put it in some sort of bag, like a mesh bag, or you could use a game bag, or I've got cheesecloth here, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to put them in that, and in about 2 gallons of water in my pot, and I'm going to boil them. And you put them in something like this so that then you don't have to strain it after you boil it, and so you don't have a bunch of debris in your water. And then after you boil it, you can and it cools, you can put it into, like I have a milk jug here, and you've got black walnut stain. And then I can put it into a tub like this, which I submerge my skulls into, and it stains my skulls. Now, some videos I've watched, and they do it, they cool the stain slightly after boiling it, and they submerge the skull into the solution while it's still warm. I did it while it was cooled completely, and it still worked, so that's up to you how you want to do it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black walnuts, and as you can see, it's already staining everything they touch, and it's the reason why I'm wearing gloves. I'm going to tie these up, and I am going to get my pot ready to submerge them in. Okay, I've got my hot plate plugged in. I've got my 2 gallons of water in my pot, and I've got my dozen or so black walnuts wrapped in cheesecloth, and I'm just gonna dunk them in like that and let that boil for about, I don't know, a couple hours, and then I'll unplug my hot plate and let it cool to room temperature, and remove the black walnut, my cheesecloth bag out of there, and pour it into my milk jug, and I've got more black walnut stain ready for more skulls. And my help is just about done. Pumpkin's trying to entertain her, but I think she's done with this project. Buggy, say bye-bye. No, nobody's leaving. I want you to say bye-bye to my phone. Anyways, all right. She doesn't understand. Bye. Bye, thanks for helping. Yep, bye-bye. As you can see, these black walnuts have only been in this water for a couple of minutes, and it's already changing color, just so you get an idea of how potent these little buggers are. So, you know, depending on how long you leave it in is how dark it gets. This batch I'm probably not going to leave in as long, because my last batch turned out literally like black. So this I'd like to get more of a brownish bronzy color, so I'm probably not going to leave them in as long. Alright, now this batch, like I said, I only let boil for about 35-45 minutes, and it's cool enough now, so I'm going to remove my little bundle of black walnuts. I'm going to put that over here in my bucket with my other black walnuts, and I actually found a funnel with a screen built inside of it. So I shouldn't say I found it. I actually stole it from my husband. He probably uses it for the tractor, but it's mine now. I keep it. He can buy another one. So anyways, so don't ask me where I got it. But now I'm going to, hold on, let me adjust the camera so you can see. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to pour this in here so that it goes into my milk jug. And what's nice about having the screen and this funnel is if any of the if any debris escaped or whatever, it can filter it even further. But this is going really nice, so I'm not seeing any. So the cheesecloth did a good job of holding everything in, because there's nothing in the screen. And this jug is getting full, so I may need to go get another one. I'm just topping off this one that I already used first before I go get another one. But as you can see, it makes quite a bit, and that's perfect. As you can see, I'm right about at the top, so I'm going to stop there before we get this dark stain all over the place. But there's 1 gallon of all natural black walnut stain, and it's ready to go. And a customer of mine was kind enough to be a guinea pig on my first skull, and as you can see, I think it looks really nice. I like how it turned out. I actually prefer this to the white bleaching. I like it really well. It almost looks like it's like shrink wrapped in leather or mummified. I really like the result. So, tell us what you think. I like it a lot. Black walnut skull staining. As you can see, there are big things going on here at K&C Taxidermy, so make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications on everything that's going on here at K&C Taxidermy. We'll see you then.